the whole concept of being in a relationship is that two people would become one, loving each other, caring for each other, and doing practically everything together. While that is beautiful, there's a downside to it. There's a tendency for you to lose yourself. You see, no matter how much you want to be with someone else, at the end of the day, you are an individual with your own personality, your likes and dislikes. So if you lose all of that, it's only a matter of time before you begin to feel some type of way in that relationship. You could begin to feel overwhelmed. You could even begin to feel lost because you can't see yourself anymore. You can't identify who you are because your identity has been, so much submerged, with that of your partner. So in this video, I'll be talking about how to be your own person even while you are in a relationship. My name is Chris and you're welcome to my channel. So the first tip on how to be yourself, be your own person in a relationship is to not give up on your dreams. You see, we hear this all the time. We see this all the time, how when people get into a relationship, one of them or both of them have to give up on their dreams just to make the relationship work. As good as that might sound, it hardly ends well when you give up your dreams just because you want to be with someone else. You give up a part of yourself because these are dreams that you've probably had all your life. You've had those dreams. You've envisioned a life, for yourself doing those things. And all of a sudden, you are giving them up just to be with that person. It might look like you're doing something good, but in the long run, it turns out to be not so good because when you give up your dreams, you give up yourself, you give up who you are just because you want to be with someone else. Without your dreams, you are left with nothing of your own but to, follow the other person in pursuing their own dreams. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing bad about you supporting your partner and, being their cheerleader, to urge them on, to encourage and motivate them. But what about you? What about your own dreams? If you give up your dreams just to be with someone else, you give up your own person because there really isn't much left. What would wake you up in the morning? Would you wake up every day looking forward to do the things that your partner wants you to do or the things that involve both of you without your dreams, like your dreams, the dreams you had before you even met that person? You don't really have much of yourself. So all you would have left is the idea of you and your partner. Establishing healthy boundaries is very important to be your own person in a relationship. Yes, you guys are one, you guys are together, you guys love each other. However, you guys are not exactly one person. You guys don't have the same lives, okay? You are two different people with two different lives to live, okay? If you don't establish boundaries with your partner, you give them the free will, you give them the complete permission to intrude. You allow them to even dictate to you what to do. It means you will have no space, you would have no privacy, you will not be able to do things on your own terms. They could just walk in, barge in, and do whatever they like, even in your private space. That is not good at all. Yes, you love this person, but with healthy boundaries, you're able to live your own life on your own terms and they're able to do the same because it goes both ways. If you want to be your own person in a relationship, you have to be willing to allow your partner to be their own person in that same relationship. You can't be the only one who is allowed to be their own person while you want to continue to meddle in your partner's affairs. It doesn't work that way. With healthy boundaries. Both of you are able to have your personal space. You're able to do things on your own by yourselves without any intrusion. The third tip on how to be your own person in a relationship is to build your own social network. Most of the time, you find couples having the same social network. So if you're dating somebody, your friends are automatically your friends. The places you go to are the same places they go to. The things you do are the same things they do. That is good. And by no means should you change that. Okay. It's good that you guys have those things in common. However, you need to establish yours. You need to have your own friends. You need to have places you go to on your own without them. You need to have things that you do without them. Having a separate social network helps you to stay well grounded in that relationship. I mean, if both you and your partner have the same friends, it means that to a very large extent, you can't even share certain details of yourself or your relationship with your friends, because if you do that, there's a high chance that your partner would find out, there's a high chance that they would pass the message, the information rather, to your partner. So it's important that you have your own circle of friends, people that you can talk to, people that you can run to and cry to when you have issues, because issues are bound to come up in your relationship. You're sure that these are people that would have your back no matter what. But if those people are their own people as well, it becomes a problem. There's a conflict of interest. They are torn, unable to decide on whom to support, or whom to guide or follow. So it's important that you have your own circle of friends. It's important that you have your own social activities. It's important basically that you have your own life, a life that thrives without your partner, a life that is not lacking in your partner's absence. If you're keen on being your own person in your relationship, it's important that you uphold your values. You see, as a person, you most likely have values that are dear to you, values you hold very close to your heart. Just because you're now with somebody doesn't mean that you need to give up your values. And that is one mistake that a lot of people make when they get with someone else in a relationship. They feel the need to let go of their values to embrace that person's own values. When you do that, you lose yourself. You might find yourself doing things that are strange to you, things that you don't believe in. You don't have to give up your beliefs and values just because you want to be with someone in a relationship. It's okay for both of you to have different values. It's okay for both of you to have different beliefs. What's most important is that you respect each other, you respect each other's views, you respect each other's values and beliefs. I don't necessarily have to agree with you, but I can respect you. And it goes both ways. You don't necessarily have to agree with what I believe, but you just have to respect it. That way we can coexist peacefully. If you feel the need to give up your values and beliefs because they don't sit well with your partner, you are just doing a great disservice to yourself. You are losing yourself in the process, because at the end of the day, you have nothing else to hold on to but what they have given to you or demanded of you. It's very important that while you love them, yeah, you hold on to your values, because remember, these are values that you probably had all your life. These are values that are very dear to you. Giving them up just to be with someone in a relationship isn't very wise, because at the end of the day, these values make you who you are. They make up your life, they make up your personality, they are a huge part of your existence as a person. So no matter what you do, don't give up values that are dear to you just because you want to be with someone else. in a relationship. Last but not least is to be authentic. You see, a lot of people lose their authenticity when they get into a relationship, and that's because they want to conform. They want to put up an act, they build up this personality that they think is perfect to their partner. But it's all a facade, and it's just a matter of time before everything blows up. Don't lose who you are. Don't lose your authenticity. You have to be true to yourself. If somebody truly loves you, they would love the whole of you. They would love you the way you are. You don't have to pretend to like things you don't like, to do things you would normally not do, to say things you would normally not say. You don't have to do all of that. You don't. When you do that, really, you just become a shadow of yourself. You become someone else that you can't even recognize when you stand in the mirror. Be authentic, be who you are. I'm not saying that you should, keep up bad behavior just because you want to be authentic. No, come on. At the end of the day, we all have common sense. We know when certain things are wrong. Yes, you can make adjustments, you can make sacrifices for your relationship to work, but when you know deep down your heart that certain things are not bad, they're just who you are, you don't have to give them up. You don't have to pretend just because you want your partner to accept you. If your partner can't accept you the way you are, for who you are, then they are not for you. They are not whom you should be with in the first place. It's important that you are authentic, because if you lose your authenticity and your originality, you just become a shadow of yourself in that relationship. You can never be your own person. There's so much joy, so much relief that comes with being authentic, with being original. You know that you can be yourself no matter what, and your partner is okay with that. If you find it, if you struggle to be yourself, if you can't be yourself because you're afraid that you would lose them, then perhaps you guys were never meant to be together in the first place. The most beautiful relationships are those with two different people with different personalities and individualities coming together to love and care for each other, making an effort to understand each other and be there for each other despite their differences. Both of you don't have to become one person. Both of you don't have to think alike. Both of you don't have to do everything the same way. It will be boring, trust me, if that happens to be the case. You're bound to get tired, you're bound to get bored, because at the end of the day, you need those differences for life to be interesting, for life to be fun. Take a look around my channel and you would find lots of other interesting videos. It was nice talking to you in this one. See you in the next one.